do what I do?
Okay.
Why am I alive, and what gives me that kind of purpose to propel me forward? Well, my wonderful wife, Alex, and my 3 kids, they depend on me. They require a lot from me, and that actually motivates me to do things for them and kind of be a part of their life. Maybe to give them a future and a present that I didn't have when I was growing up.
Yeah.
That's kind of a big motivation for me, rather than like staying in the past or staying in these areas where, you can kind of reflect on your life and kind of get, discouraged or whatever. It's like, hey, let's move forward from here and just kind of find, a place where do I want to take, where are we moving forward together?
As I was thinking about this, there's so many different directions you can go with that question, right? Motivation for what? To work, to keep living, to keep doing things that you want to do, like to do, need to do. There's kind of a lot of different avenues you could take that. But as I was thinking, thinking over some of the biggest changes in my life, the times where I have been motivated to do something new or continue on, I kind of came up with these 2 frameworks for what kept me motivated. And this idea of there are 2 ways to be motivated. One is motivated towards something, right? To doing something. I want to get here, or I want to understand this thing, or I see something and I want to go get it. So that motivates me to go get it. But for me, a lot of the motivation in my past has been, I see where I am and I don't like it.
Oh, yeah.
And I want something to change.
Yeah,
so it's this almost motivation away from.
Oh, yeah.
And over time, that became a motivation towards. But what started it was this idea of just kind of taking in my surroundings, whether it was, I don't like where I'm living or how I'm behaving, how I'm acting, what life choices am I making?
Yeah.
How do I get away from this? I don't like it. And realizing I don't want life to be this way. And so that's what propelled me to make a change. I think something that we can all relate to was just this idea of thought patterns, kind of things that very negative thought patterns that were a general part of my life. You start to kind of recognize, man, I'm beating myself up in my head. Why do I think this way about myself, about my life, about what I'm doing? And being like, man, I don't like living like this. This is not a fun way to be alive or to go through life. And so decided to seek out counseling, which has been a huge and wonderful part of my life that I love. I think everyone should go to counseling. I'm 100% serious. Even if you don't think you have to go, you should just go and see what it has to offer. But kind of depression has been a big motivator of how do I move away from continuing to feel like this my whole life. And so it was through that, it became, you start to see a light at the end that says, oh, it's not just about not living in a depressed way or living with depression, but moving towards holistic and happy, joyful, content livelihood. But does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
There are times, right, like as a parent that I think, hey, like I want to better myself. Yeah. Not only for the sake of myself, but also for my kids. It gets to a certain point where you're like, hey, I can't do this. I don't know. That's just been kind of something that I've been trying to kind of stay motivated with. It's like, okay, I want to be in a place where I can serve my kids and play with my kids and be with my kids. And that's kind of a motivation away from something into something better. Yeah. And it's not easy. It takes a lot of humility to say, hey, I need help here. Or what I'm doing isn't best for me, or maybe it's not going to help me achieve those goals that I have. That's been a big challenge for me, honestly. And kind of in the middle of that is seeking out accountability for that too. It's to be motivated is one thing, but then to kind of enter into that and seek out like-minded people that maybe they're dealing with the same things. And so to have that kind of a collective migration, you know what I'm saying? Yes. Away from something into something new. It's been an interesting place for me.
Motivation, it precipitates some sort of action, right? Motivation needs to happen before another action takes place.
Sure. Yeah.
And so before the action can even happen, you need motivation. And so that motivation really starts with a thought or some sort of mindset, which requires a lot of reflection. It's not always something you can just do.
Yeah. I'm an ideas guy, so I'll have 20 ideas of how to get there.
Yeah.
I'll have 20 ideas of how to get there, but I wouldn't have taken a single step, and so I think that there's something to that it's an action, it's not only the thought process.